Peace, greetings, all that good stuff. I'm back with another video talking about living a healthier life, a vegan lifestyle, and I just wanted to give my little testimony or whatever on how I became a vegan. I grew up like most people in America with a SAD diet, which is your standard American diet, and that was anything that pretty much my mom, anything she put in the refrigerator, I pretty much ate it. So, but when I got conscious, at first it was a progress, of course. When I turned like 17, I think that was the last time I ate pork, or whatever. I gave up pork. Then I went through a little transition. I thought I was a vegetarian, which I actually wasn't, because I was still eating fish and calling myself a vegetarian. You're not a vegetarian if you eat fish, okay? That's flesh. But I was young. I didn't really, I was only like, I don't know, maybe like 20, 19. Did that for a couple years, and then I just went back to eating, chicken. And then before you know it, I was just eating fast food and all that, And, it just comes a time where you wake up and you realize that, your body is starting to feel different from this type of lifestyle. I was smoking cigarettes. I don't smoke no cigarettes now. I was, drinking. I don't drink, on occasions, maybe once, twice a year, maybe, but, so it's just a progress you go through in life. And you're like, man, it's time to take a change. And our first change into going vegan was to only eat organic, meats. We would only get meats from like Whole Foods and place, pretty much that was it, from like Whole Foods. And, we just noticed how much expensive the meats were. And you got to think about what they're doing to the meat, because, it's a huge difference, when you buy meat in Walmart or, whatever grocery store, your local grocery store. And then you go to like Whole Foods, you're like, wow, just, 3, 4, sometimes 5 times the price. So that cut our meat supply down. If you say to yourself you're only going to eat meat that hasn't been, pumped with a lot of chemicals, if you're going to get like grass-fed, no grain-fed animals were supposed to produce, and we're supposed to eat grass. The grain-fed diet is just to fatten them up, to make more money off of them. So we decided, and my mother came down to visit, and she caught me at a time when I was really researching a lot of health. Food is your medicine was my whole motto, and I was really, researching that. But I was still eating meat, and I felt as though that was something that I needed if I was going to preach a healthier lifestyle. And the information that I'm getting, everyone is telling me that you got to stop eating them animals, So I decided, the day she left, she was down here for a couple months. The day she left, I decided that was it. This family, we're going to practice what we preach with eating right. And sure enough, that was it. That was the last day we ate flesh, and we were vegetarians battling, the cheese was the main thing. Every now and then butter, but not really, because there's a lot of butter substitutes that we was aware of. So it was just the cheese. It was no eggs. We didn't use eggs. It was just the cheese. And, eventually we just, stopped that. So it's been about 4 months. And it's important to stay on your diet too, and watch where you eat in these places, because we went off our diet one time, and everybody got sick. We haven't been sick all year. All year. Nobody has been sick at all. On my birthday, I decided just this past Christmas Eve, we decided to go into a vegetarian restaurant and eat a little cheese. Mucus built up. I mean, everybody, all the kids, me, my wife, all of us was coughing, mucus. And, we were sick for a little while. And, that's proof right there. And we're all a lot better now. Everybody's pretty much back to normal, without medicine, just herbal teas, without going to the doctors, So, it's important for people to just stay on the right path. And, eating right is the way to go. It's the time we're in. All these diseases don't make sense. All these diseases we didn't have back in the day. All this overweightness, it don't make no sense. And, that's the problem is at the plate. Health starts and ends at the dinner table. If you're not healthy, look at your dinner table. That's the bottom line. If you're not healthy, look at what you eat. The majority, almost all, a good portion of these illnesses that people have are definitely related to food. That's just the bottom line. People don't want to admit that. They want to look for any other excuse to why they're in the situation they're in, except the food that's on their plate. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Food is your medicine. That was what their father of medicine. I can't remember the Greek guy who was the father of medicine. That's in he stated that food should be your medicine. The doctor you shouldn't even really need a doctor, just for an emergency now. So I'm not totally disregarding Western, philosophy as far as health. Like I said, it's important in an emergency to get stitched up. When I got my foot ran over, I don't think no holistic practitioner would have been able to sew that foot back together or done some type of magic to make it happen. So, in an emergency, and if it's, a trauma situation, emergency, you need someone, to help, like bring you back to life real quick or something, yeah. But no long-term. Any long-term illness, that's the last place to go is the hospital. The last place to go is to the hospital. So, our medical bills are down to $0 is what I'm saying. Living healthy like this. We don't go to the doctors. My teeth are fine, a lot better now due to this lifestyle. I used to have teeth aches, eating all that junk food and sugars and everything, eating all that, the sugar and the bad food. I used to have toothaches, and I changed my diet. I don't have no toothaches, and I got teeth that's corroded back here that probably should be pulled, but there's no pain now because of the change of diet. It's simple. It's simple. Change your diet. Drink more water. Leave them animals alone. Raw foods. And I'm still eating cooked foods myself. But I'm getting closer to going more raw. I eat raw every day, though. Every day. Something raw. But, make your own bread. I make my own almond milk, for the kids. And, I use spirulina, which is a superfood green herb. It's a sea plant that has so many vitamins, minerals. I highly recommend it, spirulina. I'll post a little, maybe a link somewhere where you can get some cheap at the bottom. But that's the way to go. That's the way to go. That replaces your protein. That replaces all amino the amino acids. Um, just a ton. It's just packed with a lot of energy. It's a superfood. So I highly recommend that. And you know, you cut back on your white rice. We just use black rice, brown rice sometimes, quinoa. You know, them ancient grains. Get with them ancient grains. And, you know, your vegetables. Fruit, vegetables, ancient grains. And, you know, cut back on the white foods. If it's white, it's not right. So cut back on the white bread, the white rice, the white sugar, the white flour. Your life will be a lot better. I got more energy. I feel stronger. I'm more alert, you know, than I ever been. And like I said, nobody gets sick. We don't get sick. You know, like I said, we just had a little brush with a little cold or flu-like symptoms, but that's generally related to one day we go back off our diet, we get sick. And that goes to show you what they're doing to our foods. It's chemical warfare going on. So you got to eliminate this unhealthy lifestyle. It's not doing nothing but sending us to the grave early. And we're living a miserable life because of it. It's not right. It doesn't have to be this way. So we just need to ban these places. We need to stand up as people and stop just letting the system do whatever they want with us. You know, they just experimenting. And we just let them. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And especially it's everybody. I'm not singling out no race or whatever, but there's a problem, definitely a problem in the so-called African American community when it comes to eating bad. It's an epidemic going on. And nobody's looking at these things. Nobody's looking at diabetes. Nobody's looking at joint problems that they're having. Nobody's looking at high blood pressure that they're having. Nobody's looking at all these different illnesses. People are on all this medication. Nobody looks at the food that they eat. Could be the cause of all this. I don't understand it. Wake up, people. You know, and for the kids' sake. That's what I don't understand. It's about the kids. Show them that it's a better way. Because we don't have time to play. Nature is taking over. The unnatural lifestyle is about to come to an end. So you better learn how to barter. You better learn how to live without this monetary cash system. I'm not saying it won't be money, but not money as we know it. Not the dead president type of money. And just another fact too, farming in the future is going to be a top profession. The top profession in the future. You know. So, you know, I advise people to try and learn how to get into farming. Because our food supply, what happens if they just shut our food supply down tomorrow? You know, people, you know, what you gonna do? Where you gonna get your food from? You know, you gotta realize, you know, what time we in. That's another reason why, you know, I moved down here in the South. I'm in Florida. So, look, you gotta know what food is. It may not be edible food. I mean, not edible. It's edible food, but it may not be likable food, but it's food. You know, those weeds that grow in your yard, that's food. If push comes to shove, it is food. That's better than knocking somebody over the head to try and, you know, kill somebody over some damn meat. You know, it's not worth it. So I became vegan to nature, for love for nature. And not trusting the system is another reason. Because I'm not supplying my own meat. First of all, it's just not healthy anyway. That's just the bottom line. If it's organic, don't make it right. You still got to kill these animals. It's still slaughtering animals. You know, just because it's organic, oh, that makes it right. Organic wine is still, it's still poison. So what is organic? You know, so it's a love for nature. Above all, it's a love for nature. and we have to love nature.